Hello traders, Day Trader Matt here of businesswithtrading.com, doing a market analysis and key level video for the S&P 500 futures for Sunday the 12th of April. And this week's should be a fun one. We see right now prices up in this upper region, so 2100 is going to be our first level of resistance, followed by 2108 and 2118. So that's going to be our first areas that we want to watch just in case we are going to see resistance. If we do see a breakout of that 2118 level, we're most likely headed up 2170, 2250, somewhere up in that range. So that's what I would look for. What I would initially look for would be probably some resistance in one of these areas, and then a move into this first support, and then a move up to break out. So that's what I would initially think would happen. That's what I would look for. So price comes down. I want to watch 2072 half to 2064 half, first level of the first support area. Second level, we're going to watch down into 2058, and any break below that, and I would start to think we're probably going into this lower box. The break of this first half increases the odds of going into this lower box, but a break pretty much sets it in stone. Obviously the market's going to do whatever it wants to do. It's going to trade differently sometimes, and sometimes our areas are a little bit off, but that's what I would think. Right now you have a gun to my head, what do you think the market's going to do? This is it. So our lower box, 2040 to 2032, is what I would watch for the first level of our second box. Lower 2032 to 2020 would be the lower end. If it does break, this lower end's probably going to have a good shot at getting touched. But like I said, market's going to do what it wants to do, so it very well could support the upper part of this. But that's what I'm looking at right now. I think that the market does go higher in the next few weeks. And this week, there's a couple different things that it could do. If it does break 2020, I would be shocked. But like we said already, market's going to do what it wants to do, and all we can really do is set up a good game plan and go with it. Just like professional sports teams, they set up game plans and they try to adhere to them as much as possible, but the games change sometimes. Sometimes the other team has a game plan that makes them change their game plan, and then because they change their game plan, the other team has to change their game plan. That's basically how the markets work. Because the markets are going to sometimes do something different, and you got to change your game plan. We do that sometimes during the week. Usually every week. So anyway, that's what I'm looking for. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you have any insights, feel free to share. I'd love to hear your thoughts. With that, have an awesome week, and I'll see you back here in the markets.